This episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com, Authentic Muay Thai Lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of a Nak Muay. Go check it out. So Wadi Kop, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. All right, so Wadi Kop, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast. I got my brother, Coach Josh, in here today. We're also live on Instagram. Hello, YouTube. How are you doing today? I hope you guys are doing great. If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, I hope you're having a great day as well. So my brother's been on for the first two parts of the Pu'u Muay Thai, like the story of Pu'u Muay Thai, how we came to be. We're doing this one on
Friday.
Friday? Yeah, Friday. What's the day? October 2nd. Yeah, so this is going to be part 3. Last time we left off on it, we were leaving off when, after I just fought Mexico City, came back, was teaching still at the dance studio in Oxnard. But before we get into that, how have you been?
Super good, super active, super productive. I'm at the academy on days that end in Y.
Every day.
Every day.
So, some good news for everybody out there on, what was it, day before yesterday? I think it was Tuesday, Santa Barbara, Pu'u Muay Thai Santa Barbara. Shout out to Coach Ryan for doing all the hard work and stuff like that there for the students up at Pu'u Muay Thai Santa Barbara. They're able to go back inside. He's still doing a mixture of indoor and outdoor classes, just because of the space constraints and stuff like that too. But super stoked that they're able to start going. I'm actually most likely going to go up there tomorrow and go say hi to them. So looking forward to that. I know you're going to try to go too, depending on the time with work. So, you know, for us, I guess on Tuesday, may get moved into the quote unquote red tier for Ventura County. So that would be cool because that means that we can have people inside again. Awesome to be able to do. Again, I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. So we'll get into.
I won't comment.
Yeah. This is my brother, and he's wearing a mask. He's obviously
stay safe.
He's being cheeky right now, but
no. What are you talking about? Gotta be safe.
Whatever. Oh, I got House Vargas. What's up, man? Oni from Street Beefs. What's up, man? We got the Kit Kat in here too on Instagram. Hope you guys are doing well. Got Bronco, some of our students in here. So. What we were going over last time is, I'll kind of lead into it. So we were going over the story of how Pu'u Muay Thai became Pu'u Muay Thai, how we ended up having an academy here in Midtown Ventura. So what ended up happening was, I had that studio in Oxnard. I went and fought Mexico City, came back, and I was just working a lot, and I was working Target, the wine cellar, and teaching. At a certain point, I cut out Target, and I just worked at the wine cellar and worked on the academy. At that time, I was still teaching out of the dance studio in Oxnard. So I came really, really close. I was looking around. We were saving up a lot to get a lease. I know. Do you remember, did I talk to you about that when I was going through all that whole process?
What specifically?
Getting a lease, an actual commercial property.
I mean, I talked to you pretty consistently, but...
Yeah, well... At that time, what ended up happening is we just got enough money to be able to I'm like, hey, I can put a deposit down on a lease. I saved up enough. I was paying myself for my work at the time at the wine cellar at Herzog. What's up, Jerobi? Mr. Hurst, their Coach Shirts, what's up? Mr. Gillies, hey guys. Boom, there you go. He's Philly-O now. Philly-O 7-Eleven.
He's both.
He's both. Still a classy bum.
More classy, less bum these days, though.
Yeah. So I got enough money to be able to start looking for a commercial lease. I'm like, hey, maybe I can get a property in, I don't know, off Johnson Drive somewhere. There's a commercial. I found a commercial space over there.
I remember that.
Yeah, I was looking for modified commercial real estate at the time, and
I was looking around everywhere. There's a couple places I was looking for. There's like over off of Callens, over behind Target. And this one popped up over on Johnson Drive behind the old Toys R Us. It was still Toys R Us at the time. And I looked at the place. I'm like, hey, if I can get like the permits to be able to operate here, this would be great. And I was able to get the permits to operate there. When it came time to sign the lease, when I was given the tour of the place, they're telling me like, hey, you can paint the walls like I paint the walls here. There's cinder brick walls. But what ended up happening is when it came time to sign the lease, it said very specifically that I could not do anything to the inside of the unit in regards to paint for like the walls or anything like that.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, like they're like, no, you can do it. I'm like, well, put it in the lease. Like we need to put it in. I want to put this verbiage in. They wouldn't do it. And it was funny because it was actually through the Becker Group, which I'll come back to later.
No comment.
The Jeff Becker Group. So Becker Group, they are like a very popular commercial real estate agent, and they do residential stuff too. But it didn't end up working out. I was really bummed because I was like, hey, we're signing the lease, like everything's good.
It seemed like it was going to happen.
Yeah, and we were all pumped, and it didn't happen. But I was like, hey, something better will come up. One of the times the Becker Leasing Group is downtown, so it's past this building. So I was driving on Main Street, past this building, and I saw, hey, what the hell is this? There's a new boxing gym in that building next door to where our parents' surf shop was at, which is right next door where the tattoo shop is currently. So, I drove past it. I'm like, man, I was at the stoplight, like looked in. I'm like, man, it's a nice setup. I'm super jealous. Maybe I'll have something like that one day. I was like, oh, that's a nice location, nice setup. So, and I was going to the leasing agent and seeing this place. They had a big sign, grand opening. Right. So then the lease negotiation didn't happen. It fell through. I was like, hey, something better will come up. Something else better will come along the way. And next thing you know, I was talking to our dad, funny enough. And he was like, hey, like, did you hear about that boxing gym that's in Midtown, like across from high school? I'm like, yeah, I drove past it. It looks freaking sweet. What's up with it? It's like, well, the guy's talking about he wants to sublease it. I'm like, sublease it? Why is it? They just opened. Why would they want to sublease it? Maybe they want like personal trainers. He's like, no, they want to like lease the whole place out to somebody. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe that'll be something for me, but I'll go check it out. That sounds strange. Doesn't sound like he had all the facts. But he ended up hearing about it because one of his friends was selling this guy's art prints. These like, looks like our door. For those on Instagram, I'll show it, and I'll post a picture up for you guys to see on YouTube.
Neon Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. So these things are like a resin painting that they would do. And our dad's friend was selling them in order to get commission on like a curb somewhere. So, and he met the artist, and he's like, hey, I have this boxing gym. And I'm like, artist, boxing gym, like what the hell is going on? So he's like, our dad's like, hey, you should just go talk to him. All right. So I just came in. He was sitting over at the front, like where our reception desk is right now, and he had these glass display tables that were set up around there. And he was just like, hey, like, how can I help you? Do you want to start boxing? I don't remember his exact words, but something like that. And I was like, hey, I heard you're looking to, like, sublease or something like that. You're looking to lease to trainers? And he's like, oh, yeah. And he went into this whole story. This guy's name's Adam Fish. So he's boxing promoting. He ran a couple gyms, like in Agora Hills in Las Vegas. He was Dana White's boxing coach for a while, like his personal boxing coach at the UFC gym out there in Las Vegas.
Is that why it's called Big Kahuna or whatever?
What?
Wasn't it called Big Kahuna or something like
Big
that?
Fish.
Big Fish.
Big Fish. Okay. Yeah, Big Fish Boxing.
Got it.
So his last name is Fish.
Yeah.
So, and he had, like, this whole place was painted. Did you see the green that was in here when we had it?
I don't remember it.
Man, there was, like, this green motif that was, like, everywhere all the building, like, and with the texture and stuff on the wall. It was just, like, overwhelming on the senses. Very loud. Very loud. So, like, when I'm in here, it's black floors, concrete. He had the boxing ring up front, which I still have the boxing ring here, but it's just tucked away.
You mean destroyed?
Well, yeah, technically, but not really. So I'll get into that. I was talking to him, like, hey, what's going on? I guess he had a business partner, and I guess they were friends, and things kind of didn't work out. I don't know all the details, but he told me that he ended up, like, kind of buying out his half, and then he basically dumped his savings into buying out the other half of the gym. So he was kind of like dumped all his savings into this place, and he told me that he was just doing it because he wanted to help his friend manage it, let his friend run it, and he was just going to advise him because he ran so many places before and kind of build it up. And he showed me some of the stuff they had. What's up, Mr. Ugali? Thanks for coming in, man. So what ended up happening was, he took this whole place over and he dumped all his savings in it and didn't have any money. So he was asked...
Smart, SMRT?
Yeah, well, I guess because he had the whole place built out by Pro Boxing Supplies down in the valley. And like later on...
Hence the
bags and stuff like that. And the bag stands were all custom and the ring. So what ended up happening was, I guess he even contacted them like, hey, do you know anybody that would sublease it? Like they knew about it, he was trying to get them to buy some of it back at like a discounted rate. So along came me looking for a place to lease, right? Looking for a place to be able to start a Muay Thai academy. And what ended up happening was he's like, hey, maybe you could do something for this price. I don't remember what it was. I'm like, I don't have that much money, man. Like I wish I did. I talked to him, and I went back and I was like, hey, you know what? Let me think about think about it. Like maybe we could figure something out. He's like, yeah, let's talk. And then he called me like 45 minutes or an hour later. He's like, hey, what about if we work out some kind of thing? Like maybe we only have half the space and you're paying me like a reduced amount of sublease rent, and eventually you take over the whole space. I'm like, that I can do. I can do that. Like I can work out with that because. Obviously, it was like, hey, this guy could be a good fit. I want to get him in here. I was talking with, I brought my ex-girlfriend over here at the time, took him over and meet the guy because I was like, I get good vibes from him. I'm like, but I want like second opinion, about this person. And
no comment.
That person too, they said like, hey, that's like, you should fucking do it. So literally we signed, he wrote up a contract on a piece of paper, like a white piece of paper. He wrote it up about what the terms were for the agreement. I signed it, and then we just photocopied it. And that was our lease, our sublease agreement. And I gave him
paper, right?
and I gave him cash deposit, all that stuff to be able to start it. And I just had the front of the academy, and that's how we ended up in this spot. Like it was completely 100% by accident. Which, if you follow the timeline, I was talking about teaching at like Murrumbee, which is right down the street.
Yeah, I dropped you out there all the time.
Yeah, and then I ended up just being right up the street from it.
On the same street.
Yeah, what was it? San Clemente or Catalina? Like, totally by accident. Didn't try. But
jiu-jitsu? Muay Thai.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai.
Both great martial arts.
I just thought it was really funny how that ended up happening. And then being next door to where our parents' skate and surf shop is.
And this was a record store when I was in high school where I discovered this band. Beat City.
Beat City?
So now it's still Beat City.
What show your tattoo up here on the camera?
Beat, it says Coil on it. It's a group from the early 80s, industrial group. Mm-hmm. But it's still Beat City in the same building, but now it says Get Beat City. But
the Oni says, haha, sometimes things just fall into place at the right time. That's right, man. It does.
Bob Ross, happy accidents.
Happy accidents.
No mistakes, happy accidents.
Happy accidents. He said that? That's from Bob Ross?
Yeah, the famous
the painter. Yeah, okay. I thought he was always happy trees. I didn't know it was happy accidents.
Yeah, happy accidents. Bro, that guy's, his life philosophy was on point.
Wow. I gotta look into that more. So, hey, what's up, Trayvon? I see you in here on Instagram too. Gina, David Schmavid. Don't know who that is. I might, but I don't recognize your Instagram, but I'll say hi. So I ended up in here, and we moved everybody over here to this place, and it was like the way the setup was. It was very much a boxing gym. There's not room for like floor space except for in the ring. You could hit the bag for punching, but you couldn't really kick. But we taught classes. We took all the bags down the front and put down the little bit of mats we had from Coach Joey Zendejas.
Mr. Tree Trunk Legs.
Yeah, we were using his mats over at the dance studio. So we set the mats over here, those green and black mats, super old.
Yeah.
We set those up here. Bob Ross for the win.
Yes.
Yes, definitely Bob Ross for the win. Like I said, David Schmavid.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Who is it?
He's a recent student. David.
Oh, okay.
I know who that is.
Oh, David with the M. David Marcotte.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hey, and thank you for whoever donated. I see someone donated $20 to A21. Thanks for the donation.
Damn.
For anybody that's watching out there on YouTube, A21 is a human trafficking awareness group. They do a lot of great stuff to help people out. October 17th is supposed to be like a human trafficking awareness day, another one. We're actually going to do something here at the Academy for it too. So stay tuned. But thank you for donating, whoever did that. I wonder if I can scroll back and see. Boom. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, bless your heart.
Yeah, whoever did it, thank you. Big help.
There's some cool people in the academy. Actually, only cool people in the academy.
Definitely. Yeah, I won't blow. I can see who did it, but I'm not going to do it. But I'll just wave at them right now. Okay. So our Hawaiian brother. All right. So coming into being here, you know, I took down the bags. I had like some old rinky-dink like gray, like I guess you could get from like Harbor Freight like puzzle pieces. They're only about this big. We put them under the other section that we had that ran along the ring. And you know, we started running classes that way. We had people in the ring. Coach Kevin started training with us at that time and everything too.
I did not know that.
We put a drape in between this, and so this back here was the back alley art gallery, and then up front was Muay Thai Academy. So it was a pretty interesting setup.
That's one way to do it. I mean, that way you do it grassroots, and that way you build. You don't have to have investors. You literally just build from like a garage scenario and then level up.
And it ended up working out for me, and it worked out for the other person too.
Yeah.
Because he was able to, hey, I got some money coming back in that's gonna be able to help.
It's expensive to be an artist. You're just losing money.
Yeah.
Whether much artists.
He did a pretty good job for a while.
Did he?
I remember he was doing pretty good for a while. He got stuff sold to, like the Performing Arts Center in like Thousand Oaks. They bought an exhibit and stuff like that of his. So he did a pretty good job, and he had a lot of connections through boxing in regards to art. Like was it Mickey Rourke bought like a bunch of his pictures?
Awesome.
Yeah, he knew a bunch of people through boxing in Vegas and doing all that stuff.
Well, that's just crucial.
Very, very crucial. So I think I just saw him on Instagram. Out of nowhere, he got like 200,000 followers.
Good for him.
But it was like Mickey Rourke was like promoting him and everything like that. So I don't know if he's doing anything with it, but I think it was more like a flex, like, fuck you guys, I can do this if I want to again, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's good to be able to flex sometimes.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see. So shout out to Adam Fish. Thanks for the help, man.
Yeah, buddy.
You know, helping make that place happen. He was like, dude, you're the right fit for this place. He's like, I can see you packing this place, and
did.
Yeah, that was in 2015.
Back when I was so fat.
Yeah, that's another story, man. Coming into like, you know, that space, you know, that it came to a certain point. He's like, hey man, like you need to take over the back space. Like I need the money. I was like, crap, okay. Like I basically put my whole paycheck I had for that month into it because I had some savings. But all right, crap, here. And we took over the whole space, and this back area remained relatively unused for a long time. And in between then too, I had my friends come in. Luckily, I had some friends with some welders that came in and helped cut up the bag stands and push them up against the wall, which is where our bag stand is now. And then we took care of the ring too. We had to cut the ring in half to move it through the wall back here because it wouldn't fit through the space. It was too wide. Because they built the ring in that room, in the front room, in our main room. So we had to cut it in, like bring it into the side, and we had the ring here for forever. And we got rid of it last year. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019. And believe me, I didn't want to get rid of it, but we needed the space.
Yeah.
So even more so now, we need like extra floor space.
Mr. Chavez spent the day doing stuff, dismantling and
bringing it. Yeah, because it was sitting in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah, and me and my friends who are contractors helped cut it up, and we put up like the slat wall up front and stuff like that too. And yeah, a lot of work that went into this place for sure. A lot of love and time, and during that period too, like, you know, we created some of the top amateur fighters, I guess, here in North America. I had number one in Joanna. She was 108 pounder, number one weight class for IKF. We had you know, Christian Hernandez, still local from Ojai. You know, he was top dog, you know, for his weight class. He's fighting top people and everything too. You know, we had Justine. You know, she was national champion after training for 10 months. She's like our first like person who came in the door. And 10 months later, from coming in the door here at this location, she's like the first student that came in.
Yeah, she's like a brilliant learner student.
Yeah.
One of the best I've ever met. And then you had Carity.
Yeah, Carity came in too. They called it, I didn't come up with this name for anybody out there, The girls came up with a name. They called it Team Vag. Oh, we got 2 more donations for 821. Thank you.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick, thank you. Whoever donated, man, thank you so much for the donations. So I'm hearing correctly, you used to only rent half of the academy space and then eventually rent it all out. And it used to be just a boxing academy. Yes, Phil, that is correct. So I started out with just half the space after I moved out from our dance studio that we were subleasing. So I was still working at the wine cellar that time. So there was like a transition period, and it was fucking crazy. I'll just say that. But I want to go back here. So thank you for the extra donations. We raised $45 for 821. That's again human rights, human trafficking organization that helps fight against human trafficking. So thank you guys for donating. We really appreciate it. You guys are badass. All right. So we had half the space, and we just built up that way. And I was still working, and I just remember telling everybody I work at the wine cellar, like it was really tough working there. I met Kat Norris there. She was actually on Instagram. I met her there. I was like, hey, I'm opening up a Muay Thai Academy.
That's awesome.
And I know that she eventually found her way here too.
Yeah, and her stepson.
Yeah, her stepson.
Who benefited greatly from being here. Completely changed how he held himself after some traumatic events.
Yeah, definitely. Success story for
100%.
for Muay Thai. Phil says, that's a pretty interesting history. Yes, it is, man. Oh, we got 3 more donations. We raised $110 for 821. Whoa, you guys are badass. Okay. Did not expect that. I kind of just put that on there last minute. And thank you guys. Appreciate it. Let's keep fighting against this stuff. Before I get back into the story, we'll take a little break. Just so you guys know, right now, there's more slaves now than ever in human history. And that's through human trafficking. So it's all labeled as there's human sex trafficking, child labor, child sex trafficking. That stuff is crazy.
No comment.
Yeah. No, you're badass for this. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kaylin. Well, we actually did a fundraiser for our Eat Sleep t-shirts. Hey, Mr. Prez is in the house. We did a fundraiser for our Eat Sleep t-shirts for CAST LA, it's Coalition to Abolish Slavery and Trafficking. Figure out spread the love because there are 2 organizations that I really like what they're doing right now. And that's the thing with nonprofits like this, that sometimes their directives change and you don't always get along with them. But CAST LA, I'm still behind 100%, and 821, good organizations. Go check them out. I'll make sure to put the links in the show comments for iTunes and for Spotify and for YouTube. For those of you that are out here on Instagram, go check them out. You can just click it. All right. So after we, started creating these fighters, like Justine was the first one. That was like where I had my curriculum first written out. Like I'm like, hey, we're gonna run this program. And in the first month or 2 that I started opening, Coach Todd hit me up because I was friends with him. He wasn't Coach Todd at the time. He was my friend Todd. He's like, hey man,
I remember how it happened.
Yeah, he's like, you need to come over and have some dinner at the house. And he proposes things like, dude, what are you gonna do if you get sick? All this stuff. I want to help
start.
Yeah.
And I can't pay you. And he's like, don't worry about paying me when you can. And that's why it became such a pivotal role in the academy, because he volunteered the time and grew it to a place where it was an actual thing. So.
And let me tell you, so I had Coach Todd on the podcast too, and he wants to come on here again. If you guys want Coach Todd on the podcast, hit the like button on this a couple times.
If I can hit the like button, I would.
Yeah, get the like buttons a couple times on here. Give me some hearts if you guys want to see Coach Todd again on here. But super great guy. Me and him have been friends for so long. So he's like, man, he was stressed for me. Opening place, he was stressed for me. Oh, we got some more hearts. There we go. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I'll definitely get him on here. He wanted to come on here and do it again.
He's super humble, but we should all be singing his praises as much as possible. He's so humble.
He's a great guy, and he's doing great stuff with his security work and stuff too. So, coming back on to he came in he didn't really he was teaching some kickboxing programs, but his programs never really grew at the time. And he brought over they would come and go, and he had 3 dedicated students at his place that he would always teach at. And they eventually ended up coming here too, just to natural process. And what I had him do is start shadowing me first. I'm like, hey man, I want to figure out you're a really good martial artist. Why aren't people like, why aren't people staying in your class? Like, I think it's just a matter of training. He said it too. He's like, man, yeah, I want people to give me feedback in my classes. Like, what am I doing good? What can I do better? What can I do more of? What should I stop doing or not do as much of? And so that's what we did. Like, you know, it took like maybe like a month and a half.
What were the main takeaways for him?
For him, so Todd's a very passionate person.
Clearly.
Yeah, and so what we do is we talk about PCP, not the drug PCP, folks. All right? Praise, correct, praise. Putting things put positive correction on things.
AKA shit sandwich.
Yes. Or correction sandwich is what we call it. You have the praise, you have the correction, and the praise. Have a nice, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe out there. Train hard. Thank you, Donnie. Good luck on your next Street Beast, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, man. So what ended up happening was it was mainly that, and just making sure we got rid of like any negative tones, like don't do this, like don't. I want you to focus on this.
Wasn't that was a main takeaway we got when I met a bunch of those instructors up north at the
Muay Thai
Crew Pats thing
at the Muay Thai Business Summit? Right?
Yeah, where he said, you don't drop those words. Say, hey, I'd like to see you do this, and not give them.
Well, that goes into like into pedagogy, it's the art of teaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Todd was teaching that class by himself. He's feeling more comfortable. Like I was watching, and then next thing you know, like his classes started filling up like mine.
They're packed.
Yeah, his class started filling up.
If it wasn't for Coach Todd, I'd still be a fat butt.
Yeah. Hey, we got 7 donations too. I just want to mention that. $120 raised for A21 to fight against human trafficking. Again, you guys are badass. Appreciate it. You know, there's people out there that are in much worse situations than us right now, so definitely want to help them out. So going into like with Coach Todd, you know, his program started blowing up, and you know, we were teaching classes here. We took over the whole space. Like I said, we didn't really use this back space. There was a bag stand that was back here, and it was really big. It took out like this whole space, essentially. And it was open over here. And I was like, okay, crap, I'd have the metal workers come in. I don't know what I'm going to do with the flooring. So we took out the stand. We cut it up. We had a temporary back stand that was kind of over here on the side, right next to like where these red boxing chairs are. And I had the boxing ring moved back in here. So we kind of just had that running for a while, and we'd wear boxing shoes back here, be barefoot, and get really dirty feet. That's just how it was. And gotta go catch some sleep since I'll be there at 7 a.m. sharp. USMTO, here we come. Yeah, Phil, I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'll be here.
Good night,
I'm not sleeping here, but
good night, princess.
Essentially. Good night, princess. So we had this whole area set up, and then we were still training up front. We had our Dollar mats up front, and me and Carlos CeeLo, we went down to pro boxing one day. Didn't expect anything. Like we were just let's go look at some stuff, and then the guy he's like, hey, like I was asking about the puzzle piece mask. So I wanted to get like a price quote, and I had like a rough idea about how many I needed. And I'm like, hey, how much would it be for this? And he gave me he's like, hey, if you buy it today, I'll give you for this much. I was like, can you drive it for me? Because I don't have a truck. He's like, yeah, dude, we'll deliver it, everything. All right, done.
Damn.
So they delivered him that day, and Carlos was like, oh, like, we always joked, like, you know, you go down to pro boxing, it's like a kid going into a candy shop, like, I'm just going to get one piece of candy. You end up coming out with the whole bag.
Just going to do one more time.
One more time. What's up, Mr. Englehart?
Good.
Yeah. So, at that time, you know, we put down the mats and stuff like that. Coach Martha was coming in the morning, and she'd help fill out some of the perimeters and some of the edging, and we spent a lot of time doing it. And we had the ring back here and stuff too. And we didn't paint the back; we just kept it black for a long time until recently, this year actually.
Yep.
I've always been meaning to paint it like this though, with the branded colors and stuff. But I think it looks freaking sweet now.
It's gray though, as opposed to white, because your colors are red, white, and black, right?
No, gray, black, and red.
Not the white. That's more white.
You're thinking about the white just letters. That's from the text and stuff.
Yeah, which is red, black, and white.
Yeah, I know. But I like the gray. I use the gray more as like a straight accent.
Oh, okay.
So the gray originally, you know who it came from? Is our Uncle Pat. So our Uncle Pat is like an excellent painter, and he's one of the people that help
Master painter.
Also, he goes to sleep. Buenas noches. Bye, Kaylin. You have a great night. Thanks for stopping by.
What's up, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
Mr. Barefoot Running Guy.
Barefoot Nick. That's what we'll call him. Nick Nick runs fast. There you go.
Nick couldn't run at all before he met me, and then he stuck with it for a year. And now he ran 24 miles on his 24th birthday.
Nice,
so
Nick.
The one person who listened to me about running consistently.
Well, for those that don't know, my brother's actually a really good runner.
No, I'm not. I just run a lot. Distance.
Yeah. So, we had this place, and we started getting like tournaments going. Yeah, we had Carity come into the academy. We had Kate Sholey move out here as well from Montana.
Missoula.
Yeah, and so we had fights in Mexico City. We went to China, Thailand,
China.
Canada. Yeah, Canada. We went to tournaments here, like nationally. Justine, her national title was in New York after 10 months. Like that was a big, pretty high risk gamble for like students and stuff like that to go. She never fought before. That was interesting.
Don't make me think about New York right now.
Well, we set up her first fight ever, like 3 weeks before that fight, before the tournament.
I remember that very well.
At Hollywood Park Casino, where they don't do fights anymore, but it was pretty badass.
She's such a quick learner, though, so, I mean, she's a perfect candidate.
She's also just, like, I called her a sassy bitch, because she was just, like, she was going
I thought that would be Carity, because she even called herself a crass-ass bitch.
No, she's crass, but...
that's why we like her, though.
Justine she's sassy. So she was going to do some personal shit, and she just channeled that into training. She literally lived here for, like, 6 months of just training. She trained every single day. Every single day. Days off where we do open sparring, she was here. So she channeled that, and she won a national title. Freaking literally willed it into existence against somebody who had been training a lot longer than her. So I was very proud. Fought against some really tough gyms, and it's funny because she was my only fighter there at that tournament. I had friends there, and like, so who else did you bring? I'm like, no, just this girl. Like, I'm like, she's badass, so she's gonna win. And they're like, oh shit, all right. And she, Kat's laughing because she knows Justine on Instagram. So she ended up just like, going out there and smashing. I knew she was gonna do great. She fought a lot. I think she fought 4 times, 2 days. So that's a lot. And then she fought just like 3 weeks prior to that. And then we took like a short notice fight in Canada and stuff like that too. But she was great. I missed her. She's a computer programmer now. She's not on Instagram anymore. She cut out social media.
That's so smart.
Smart person.
Not SMRT, but actual
SMART. Yeah, she's intelligent. So I miss her. If she's ever listening to this, say hi. Maybe we'll have you on sometime because it'd be interesting to hear your insight into that whole thing. And then Carity, Nick. Man, we've had a lot of fighters, people that fought a couple times coming through the door. Carity ended up winning WBC, the first ever like amateur title. One of the first ones for WBC Muay Thai, amateur title here in North America, so that's like a monumental time in history. Kate beat the Chinese national kickboxing champion on Wulin Feng. They said there was around 8 million people watching it.
China.
And to get a decision, she won by decision in China.
Yeah, because
that's a big deal.
Yeah, because she lost the first round, I think. And
I don't know.
Yeah. She lost one round and she won.
It was all Chinese to me, bro.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's what I saw, at least, as an outside perspective.
Well, they raised their hand. She got it. And then, all of our fighters got to the finals at the WBC Muay Thai tournament, the first one. Christian got Waco gold medal, West Coast gold medal for kickboxing. And then Joanna, she fought a tournament. She fought up in weight, and she ended up getting silver medal for Waco silver medalist and stuff like that, too. So, again, at this time, it was like, a lot of that couldn't have happened without Todd, because I would go to these tournaments, Todd would cover. Like, we wouldn't have, if people that don't understand, like, how, like, an academy works, you can't just close down the academy because you have fights. You have people here that are here not for fighting.
Most of the people.
Yeah, and that was just, like, the extra, frosting on the cake for me. It's fun, to go see people go out there and go test the skills that we had developed here. We went to Kansas City, out there. Carity had family, funny enough, in Kansas City. Went and fought out there. Nick fought there for his first time against this 21-year-old kid. Freaking banger fight. Him and this kid fall out of the ring. For those that don't know, I always joke and told Nick, I'm like, man, you're an old man. What are you, 57? He was 36 or 37 at the time. He wasn't that old, but
he looked older than you.
Yeah, well, that guy went through some shit.
Yeah.
He he didn't train martial arts really until he was older.
Yeah.
Like, I think he did Taekwondo when he was younger.
I can relate.
But, yeah.
It's 29 when I started.
Yeah. So, we did all these tournaments, local fights, and built up our name that way. And continued on building up the community. We started building out our youth program since day one when we were at the dance studio. And I always thought that was really cool, is how the youth program started to develop. And we've learned so much here, and the amount of people that we've affected lives. Like, we had our teens program. We had teenagers prior to shutdown doing Muay Thai for independent studies, PE. They would do PE here. Like,
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah.
I would. Where was that when I was in high school, man? I did
Tomas
gym.
is doing that.
Tomas,
right?
yeah.
Which is, if you guys don't know, for our friends who don't know, is the youngest instructor we have at the academy. He's like my same height and weight, and he went from being this chunky little kid to like a freaking man that is more together than the bulk of adults that we encounter.
Yeah, Tomas, I love that kid, man.
He's a bro. He's a brother more than he is a.
I tell people how I'm like, he's only like 15, right? Like, what?
A very evolved 15-year-old.
Yeah,
so
he's been training Muay Thai with us for like it's like 3.5, coming up on 4 years.
Yeah, he's up there.
And he's been leadership instructor and all that stuff too for the kids, assisting you with the adults and stuff too, and able to help out with that stuff. And he fought a couple times. It's good experience to have to be able to build up these people. So, and he's the first. Like, I always told myself when I started the kids program that one day these kids, I'm gonna give them a job. They're gonna have a job. Their first job is gonna be teaching Muay Thai. It's not gonna be flipping burgers at McDonald's or bagging groceries or cart attendant.
Or way worse.
Or there's worse things that you could be doing, which is why we're raising money for 821.
Yeah, good point.
So, when that started happening, I was just like, oh shit, like, we're doing it. Like, this is happening. And June was supposed to be like our 5-year anniversary of like the academy being founded, over 5 years.
This coming June?
No, well, this past June.
Oh, it's not. Oh, that's right. Because I was 4 years as of this last March.
So. Yeah, we still got to celebrate. Yeah, and you didn't start training, and you started training because Coach Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we were going through I'll go back into the story a little bit, timeline wise. So we took over the whole space. It was me and Coach Todd. Todd was teaching a couple of the classes. What's up, Sarah? I want to talk about one of the OG students. Been around for a while. Was around for a while. Her and her husband opened up Progressive MMA here in Ventura, mixed martial arts place. Go check them out.
Right down the street.
Right down the street. Again, just happens. All right. So, what ended up happening was I was still working at the wine cellar. Right. So it was 2015, and Travis, my friend Travis in Hawaii. For those who know Travis, he's on the podcast as well, the RN, the nurse.
Travis the Tornado.
So he was living back east in North fucking Carolina at the time. So he's like, hey, like he called me up randomly one day. He's like, hey, so I qualified for this world championship tournament. It's gonna be in Spain. Do you want to go with me? Because I'm moving back. I'm moving to Hawaii. And the people I'm training with now said that they're going to be focused on this other person there. And if you guys fight at the same time, they're going to focus on her. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I'll go with you. I'd love that. And he's like, yeah, so what should I do? And I gave him a whole running plan, which at the time, it was the same running plan I have in my book. In the Preparing for Your First Muay Thai Fight. If you guys haven't seen it, I have it. You can check it out. I'm not going to post a link right here, but you guys see the image. It's on Amazon. You can also buy direct from me if you guys want a signed copy. It's also available on Kindle as well, Amazon Kindle.
You fought some guy with 50 fights or something.
We'll get into that. So I gave him his running program. He's like, what? How much fighting am I going to do? And his coach that he had back east in North Carolina is like, how much running are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Now Travis is like, oh yeah, that's how much I should be running because he went to Thailand. He sees where that's coming from.
But he also says that if running were a person, he'd punch that person in the face because he hates running. I watched him KO a Thai guy in round 2 in Pattaya in 2018 in his son.
At Max Muay Thai.
It was after he got elbowed and dropped in the head.
Max Muay Thai, right?
Max Muay Thai,
Max
correct.
Muay Thai.
Yep. Hung out with him for a couple days.
Dude, is that on YouTube?
I'm sure it is.
It's on YouTube. Let me see if it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
want to pull it up. I don't have Jamie like Joe Rogan does. Jamie, pull that shit up.
Yeah, exactly. I got a clip of it where I'm right next to the side where he's just endless combos and the announcer calls. He's like, it looks like Travis is going for the knockout.
On YouTube because I can post it here too on the screen so everybody can see it. You guys won't be able to see on Instagram. I can always turn it towards this to see. So Travis Petralba Max Muay Thai. So
he fought the second time.
So he fought this guy named. There it is right there. I can zoom through it. I think this is the second one. Yeah, September. No.
It was definitely December.
December,
2018.
yeah. So the September was the first one that he fought. It must be this one right here. This one was posted. Oh, that's 4 years ago. No.
So just about 2 years ago.
September.
You might need to fight this later, bros.
Yeah, we'll look it up at a different time. I'll put it in the show notes. But he fought this guy named Super X, and this guy's Happy Friday.
Super X got super
Dan goes
smashed by our friend.
Yeah, well, Super X has a funny story. He went viral. Super X went viral because if you guys ever seen the video, anybody on Instagram, of the referee at Max Muay Thai getting knocked out by one of the fighters from a kick because he was trying to save another fighter from getting knocked out. Super X was the guy that was getting knocked out. So his next fight was against Travis. So if you guys know Thai guys, they get knocked out once, they're doing everything they can so they don't get knocked out next time.
He was standing on his feet, knocked out on his feet,
Yeah,
and
but
he still kept going.
Iron will to keep going, did not want to get knocked out.
That was impressive.
So, and Travis still put him out.
Yep.
So that was pretty fucking good. And shout out to my friend Matt Lucas, who's also been on the podcast. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out.
And Kru Toy, who cornered him
From City Yatong.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's funny. Remember me and Matt were just yelling, America!
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
push him! Say fuck him! You know, like we're just talking shit, just making
Crass.
Travis feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, Matt Lucas is one of the announcers on Max Muay Thai too. He lives out there in Pattaya, so it was pretty funny having the announcer saying America at the time. For those that didn't know, it was hilarious. I don't think Travis knew. I don't know.
Yeah, he was uncomfortable.
Yeah, he was like, stop it, leave me alone. But Travis, he's like, hey, come out to Spain, come out to this tournament. Okay, so I would talk to him like once a week about how his training was going and stuff too. He was living on the Big Island at the time. He's working at like a pizza shop, like his aunt and uncle's pizza shop on the Big Island. And he was training at BJ Penn's like training at his gym out there.
Didn't he spar with him one time?
Yeah, he sparred with BJ Penn one time. And he's like, oh shit, he still got it. Got his ass kicked. Travis got his ass kicked, just to clarify. So, sure enough, it came time, and me and Travis went to Spain. I flew over to New York. I met him in New York. He flew from Hawaii to New York. We met up in New York earlier in the morning. New York Marathon was going on that day. We went to New York, and we just walked around Times Square. I'd been to New York once already because of the tournament. Actually, no, I didn't go to the tournament yet. I'd already been to New York once by that point. So, went around Times Square and everything like that. Went to Spain, made a bunch of awesome friends, and there were some fighters that were now pro fighters, and some of them top coaches now that were fighting then. There's Paul Benasiak. There was Sean McFadden, who was fighting out there too at the time out of Easton Training Center. He's one of the Team USA coaches. Tony Cummings was his coach at the time. Primo Bellarosa from the East Coast, awesome fighter, also awesome coach. And he had some of his fighters out there and stuff too. Rami Ibrahim from Pennsylvania. He's one of Team USA coaches. So Niels is in Jason Farrell from Level Up Boxing over there. I think is in New Hampshire. I think he's in New Hampshire.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I can't remember, but he was over there too. I basically met all these East Coast people that I'd seen online, but I never got to see because the WKA tournament that Travis fought in to qualify for this is predominantly an East Coast tournament. So ended up going over there and meeting all these badass people. Travis didn't win, but like we talked to the guy afterwards that he fought from England. We're like, so how many fights do you have? And the guy's response was, pro or amateur? He's like, yeah, I have like 40 pro fights. I was like, oh, it'd be like that. And it's funny you talk about Sit Yatong because Sit Yatong, they had a fighter that was living in Australia at the time as a trainer who fought this tournament. Team Australia had one fighter, and it was this Thai guy. And he fucked everybody up. He knocked people out, dislocated someone's shoulder. It was bad. He got banned from the tournament after that. He didn't know he wasn't supposed to be fighting there. And just to tell everybody out there, it wasn't the fighter's fault. I don't think it was any ill intent by the cornermen either. I think it was like because most world championship tournaments like this is normal for pro fighters to also fight in them for experience and to win for their country or win for their gyms.
Politics.
It's normal. Well, it's everywhere except for the U.S. you can do that. You can go between pro and amateur. Everywhere except here because we're backwards.
Upside down land.
Well, I also think it's one of the things that's holding Muay Thai back here in the U.S. is that too. I know the TBA, their Thai Boxing Classic tournament in Iowa, Pam and Pete, they're trying to make it so that pros can compete in it too.
You can't use Thai liniment at tournaments in California, right? It's not illegal.
Not anymore.
Did it change that?
That's a long story, man. You were gonna get? We can get into it at the end of the show. I would love to get into it.
Gotta touch on that.
I know I said I was gonna touch back up on the Becker group. So Jeff Becker, he's the broker for the area. So it's funny. I took over this one-on-one client who was boxing with a boxing coach that was here, and he had some extra sessions over. I'm like, hey, I'll take over. I'll finish them for you, like, because the guy helped me out to get the space. Like, I couldn't have afforded the deposit on this space without this. So the sublease was coming to an end, and I was talking to this client.
Glory?
Hey, Glory, aka Josh during Halloween.
Yep, best Halloween costume ever.
What ended up happening was, I was talking to this guy. His name's Jim. Like, hey, like, I'm having such a hard time negotiating this lease, like, on the place, and like, you know, they're giving me a really hard time. I don't know why. I've been here. I've paid rent like on time all the time, and I have, you know, I didn't have any credit at the time, but like I had stable income, everything. I was showing it. I had the numbers to show that we could pay it. And Jim's like, hey, like, buddy, I know just a guy. I'm like, well, fucking spill it. Who? He's like, me. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what do you do? He's like, oh, that's what I do for a living is I do real estate negotiations and contracts. I'm an attorney for that. I was like, oh, shit. So he does a lot of negotiation and contract stuff for the Becker Group. So coming around full circle, right? So now I mean the people who basically shot me down for leaks before.
That's hilarious.
People that helped negotiate, he's the guy that I was probably talking to without even realizing it. And he helped me negotiate the lease here. This place is not managed by the Becker Group, by the way.
No people.
Yeah, he helped me out a lot. He's like, sorry, bud, like the broker for this place was spitting fire. But we ended up signing into this place, and shout out to my friend Jim Cole at Slaughter, Reagan, and Cole. Definitely awesome people. If you guys need anything, business, attorneys, legal advice for businesses, go check them out. They're in downtown Ventura. I'll also put a link for their website in the show notes too. Okay? But that's kind of just tying up the loop. And, you know, over the years as we were here, everything just kind of kept evolving. I got more into officiating. I wasn't able to fight because obviously, as you can tell, I was fucking busy, you know, with all these tournaments and doing the stuff for the fighters and everything too. And last fight I had was in Mexico City. I was supposed to fight. They were supposed to have a pro Muay Thai fight in Camarillo. I don't know if you remember that.
Of course I remember that. We all remember that.
That sucked.
I'm not going to comment on that.
No, we won't talk about the promoter or anything. I'm not going to give him free.
I'm not talking about that, just in general. Just not comment. No comment.
Okay.
The only fighting you were doing was with your ex-girlfriend. But
All right. So, I was training a lot on there too.
Yeah.
Like I was prepped for that fight pretty fucking good, and then the fight got pulled like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, I know you got a game plan. You're working with Uncle. You're training. You're doing.
Yeah.
You got a thing. You're gonna go out to Thailand for a fight camp.
I was gonna train out there for 3 weeks before, and then But long story short, it didn't happen. For anybody that's out there, I'll put it out there right now. I'm, at that time, I was taking any fights anywhere, anytime. I'm looking to do the same again. So anybody that's out there, for me, I want to find a place that's going to help us get, we have a lot that we can offer for you guys in regards to promotion. Any promoters out there, if you do a live stream, I know our students watch it and buy it. But for me, I want to do it as a fundraiser for fighting against human trafficking. You don't get a lot of money fighting pro Muay Thai, you guys. So, but I do want any money I do make from it, I would put it towards that. So anybody that can get behind that cause, give me a shout. Fighting at 65 kilograms, I'm down to go. Maybe 66 kilograms. So let me know if anybody out there, if anybody's got any plug. Happy to help promote that in any way I can too. So, yeah, going back onto the limit, you're asking about Thai boxing limit if it was legal here.
Right? I know it's not.
So, well, here's the deal.
It's not.
It's not now.
Yeah.
But it was allowed for a while. Yeah. All right. But what ended up happening is, so there's Namin Muay. That's the limit that's been used in Thailand since the 60s. I don't know when it was founded. Namin Muay, Thai boxing limit. You type it in, it's the first thing that comes up. So everybody used that, right? It's the thing to use. It even ended up getting imported by Ace, like the Ace bandage. Those people started importing it for use in the U.S. Okay, so it's legit. It's better than Tiger Balm. It doesn't have like the carcinogenic properties. Like it doesn't have like the petroleum-based products in it. So safer to put on your skin, obviously. But what ends up happening is there's a sanctioning body that's here in California, and they decided that there needed to be some kind of like clean standard for what's used on your body, which was weird. It's like I get it, but they didn't give anybody a chance to be submitted for it. So there's a guy who promoted one of their tournaments, who financially backed one of this sanctioning body's tournaments. And again, this is from what I saw. There's other facts that go into there. There's nothing against the sanctioning body or the other company that had the liniment that was quote unquote clean. But literally they were saying like, hey, if you don't have the certification, you can't guarantee the quality of the, and it might be tainted. I'm like, really? This product that's been used for like 50 fucking years is tainted? Like, no. So someone filed a defamation lawsuit against the sanctioning body for it. Crew, will you fight it again? Kat, I'm putting it out there. I want to fight again. So, but it's for a cause. It's for fighting against human trafficking. There's a bigger fight than me.
Fight again for sure. Even we got to fight live on this podcast right here.
Yeah, dude, we'll do it. Put it on Twitch. Just heads up to everybody that's on Instagram too. We're coming up on an hour, so the stream will end, but I'll start it back up again. Okay? So what ended up happening was the defamation lawsuit got filed by another liniment company, not Moya, another one, and understandably so because of the things that were going around. And then after that, they're like, all right, no more liniment. Like, why? Just it's not allowed anymore. Just that was that. But it was as a result of the litigious activities that were going on, the litigation. So, but the good news, I just saw an email that got forwarded to me from Andy Foster. Andy Foster is the executive commissioner here in the state of California. So he's the one that kind of oversees everything and talks to the head commissioners. And he said he saw no problem with it. So I foresee it being legalized, or if it's not already allowed to be used in professional Muay Thai here in California, it probably will be very soon. I mean, dude, they just sanctioned fucking Lithway rules style fights in Colorado.
I saw that.
That was due to an Aquid student, Oscar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's one of the commissioners out there.
So when is Muay Thai going to stop being a crime?
Muay Thai is not a crime.
Oh, well, look at our freaking front windows. According to front windows, it's a fucking speakeasy.
Well, dude, hey, speaking of Muay Thai is not a crime, if you guys haven't checked it out, go check out our merch at pmtlifestyle.com. We have Muay Thai is not a crime t-shirts. We have these awesome shirts like I'm wearing right now. But the Muay Thai is not a crime. I took the stencil logo like from the old independent shirts for the skateboarding is not a crime. It seemed very fitting for the time. I made some beanies, snapbacks with like embroidery on it and everything too. But they're really badass. I really highly recommend everybody go check out the store. I'll have it in the show notes, pmtlifestyle.com. The podcast is sponsored by the shop. But yeah, so a ton of new merch on there. We got bomber jackets. I showed you one of them, the new embroideries. They're pretty badass. Simple lifestyle stuff. Also got jogger shorts. I'm in the midst of making a fight team like jacket and stuff too. So, sorry, you're talking about when's Muay Thai not a crime. So again, Tuesday, if we're allowed to open. That's when that would
Everything illegal.
Yeah, everything's illegal. Music's too loud.
Go to jail.
Go to jail.
That's the joke. Go, believe it or not.
Go to jail. Yeah, believe it or not. Music too
Make
loud.
appointment at a dentist appointment.
Go to jail.
You miss appointment. You late to appointment. Believe it or not.
If you guys haven't seen the video, it's hilarious. The guy's like locking his dog in the dog crate. Listen to music too loud. The dog had headphones on. You go to jail. He puts him in the crate. But again, just stuff that's been really awesome. There's also a new platform that's coming out. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but you guys are going to be hearing more and more about it. It's from my friend Carlos Reyes. It's a company called SparMat, SparMat.com.
They've actually start the thing.
Oh, why is it? Did it end?
It says yeah.
Oh, okay, hey guys, I'm going to restart the stream here. It's got 2 minutes remaining. I'll be right back. Okay, save video. All right,
YouTube, we're watching
YouTube. We're just resetting everything over on here.
But in the meantime, yeah, our front windows covered with brown stuff. All right, no, I don't mean fecal matter because we're in California and we're close to LA. We got some brown paper covering so we don't have the Kens and Karens. complaining because it's
It's
illegal.
like,
It's illegal to have a business in California.
Well, not
now.
just that, but it's like, you know, we're getting complaints about me and my wife and me and you being in here teaching virtual llasses.
Yeah.
Like, I literally got a complaint at my door. They're like, yeah, you're not supposed to be here right now. I'm like,
So these people that ain't got shit going on, you know, that all they got is they got their nose picking appointments, and so they're calling people. Those people would be ratting out Anne Frank in World War II. Got shit.
that's a
going
big
on.
accusation.
Yeah, but it's fucking true.
I know what you're saying. I hear you. It's something we're obviously very passionate about.
No,
is
we're
Muay Thai.
more so than that.
Yeah, but
Livid.
I'd rather keep some of that stuff separate from the podcast for the time being.
Well,
we can do. You know, I'm looking forward to.
That's all I need to say about that.
We should do a whole podcast just on this whole thing at some point in the future.
It's a freaking this thick of a novel.
I documented a lot of
this
it.
thick of it. Well, good. You need to for your future children. It's like this is what happens when you got 2 weeks to flatten the curve. By the way, happy 6-month anniversary. You did 2 weeks to flatten the curve, bro.
Yeah. Well, that was on what, the 19th.
Yeah.
19th of September. So, hey, what's up, Diana? So, as we're going through and getting ready to open back up and stuff too, it's been really, like I said, I did video logs that I didn't publish anywhere.
I did them too.
Yeah, because it's one of those things like I want to remember this because
For
again,
kids or whatever.
and the why.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, anybody who makes it through this time, you guys are tough as fuck. Especially if you guys are in the Muay Thai industry, martial arts industry, fitness industry, food, liquor, anything, any business right now is eating the shit sandwich. So, what's up? I was in OZ NYC. What's up, man?
Hi there.
I'm glad you're on here in case TikTok gets banned, by the way. So just kind of seeing more and more how, but New York opened back up, by the way.
Thank God.
They opened up before us. What the hell? But okay, I'm not going to talk about it. I can get stuck on this all day.
I'm glad they're open though.
Oh, go back to SparMat. So SparMat, Carlos Reyes, they have this really cool platform for fighters. And some of the stuff they're doing on there, I'm telling you guys, if you're on Instagram, go to SparMat, @SparMat. Go check them out because you're going to need it. I'm just telling you, if you're in California, you're definitely going to hear about it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to tease out. If you guys are in California, you're going to want to be on SparMat. You saw me put something on the leadership chat, right? You should get registered on as a coach and as a fighter under the gym. Very important, by the way.
I'll get it in due time.
Sweet. So, if you guys are out there, go follow SparMat. They're awesome. They're doing a glove giveaway right now. If you guys listen to this in the future, it probably already happened. But they're doing a glove giveaway. They're doing a bunch of cool stuff to help sponsor fighters. They actually sponsored our competition team at 1.2, but they've gotten their whole app together that they're making. It's an online web platform, like a web app. And I can't wait to see all that stuff kind of flourish and come to be. But with that said, got anything else going on? What you got going on the rest of the weekend?
Classes tomorrow. I don't know if that's supposed to be a secret or not. Speakeasy Muay Thai for life, yo.
Yeah. Well, this probably get published on Tuesday.
Yeah, true. So we have testing. We have like a record number of people testing in yellow.
We're doing
October.
Yeah, October. We're doing testing at Kimball Park.
Yep.
So I put out a test list. Everybody got all the invitations. I'll update you on that
on
later.
the Spark app, yeah.
Yeah, I got there's a ton of.
Yeah, I got it.
There's a lot of
they
things I automated.
10 different ways.
Oh yeah, I got it set up.
I understand.
So
I tell everybody, what are you doing on the
if you're on there, you better make sure.
What are you doing on the 10th?
Go fill it out. Go
You're
register.
eligible.
Yeah, and you have to wear your uniform shirt, guys. Okay.
Not optional.
Not optional. If you show up without a uniform shirt, guess what? Not testing. Okay, no promotions.
And you're gonna be cleaning the bathrooms as a public safety thing, you know, just to pay your penance.
They clean the public bathrooms that we just.
Yeah, they gotta clean the bathrooms for not wearing their shirt.
Yeah. Well.
Pay it back to the community for botching that basic thing. Just remember to wear your pants.
You know, the ones I feel hardest for on that is kids.
Yeah.
Because usually it's the parents that do with it. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Those of you on Instagram, you can stick around for a little while, do extra Q&A. You too, we're gonna sign out. Thank you so much. All right, Josh, thanks for coming in today, bro.
All
right.
I live here. Wake up.
Sweaty cup.
Bye, Instagram. Thank you guys for being here.